Microphone. Check, check. Good morning, Tom, aka Nostradamus. I am the bombist. How's everyone doing? Today is No Right Friday. What the F is this kid talking about? No Right Friday. Network engineer here. It's a term. It's like, don't make any changes, man. Whenever you're working on like a Cisco router, Cisco switch, Aruba switch, what have you, typically you make some changes and then you throw this command write mem at it, write memory. You're making a change. So I spend every Friday the entire day avoiding making changes because I don't want to ruin my freaking weekend. You know what I'm saying? So it's No Right Friday. Enjoy your No Right Fridays. It's probably a pretty good like philosophy, even if you're not a network or system engineer. Don't make any changes on a Friday. You're just running the chance of ruining your weekend, right? You make a change, it goes bad, and then shit rolls down the hill, and you know. Anyway, crypto, man, what's going on in crypto? Things are looking pretty good. A little bit flat still, a little bit flat. Saint gang. What about the portfolio? You like my clickbait, bro? We all know that I constantly show my portfolio. That's all I ever do. Oh, whoa. Just showed you a little wireless survey map. I did not mean to do that. That's not interesting to you guys. Let me clean up my desktop here. All right, let's get the portfolio up. Was thinking about making a move. Oh, dude, I just put that in there in case, you know, it's just one of those things to potentially grab a couple new viewers. Clickbait, you got to do the clickbait. Clickbait seems to be working. I throw out things like 41,000. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but all I'm doing is taking Big Boy's predictions and adding $1 to it. I take it back. I didn't do that on it. On Ethereum, I think I added 1,000 to it. So go over to the desktop. The portfolio hasn't changed. It's looking good though. It's looking good. We're getting back to that half milli. We're almost back to that half milli. As I've mentioned a few times, I haven't added all my recent Polkadot purchases. I have about another 350 Polkadot to add to this. Just a little bit of OCD problem I have right now because my portfolio before I bought that was over $500,000. It was at like 510 or 519. I don't remember the top, but it really bothered me because I don't like losing. That it went, dude, that thing crashed all the way down to, I think it even breached sub 400 there for a second during this last dip. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it because I'm not worried, man. Like, I will be sounding the alarms. You dig gag. If you're new, hit that. I talk about my, I think it's a perfect exit strategy. Dude, I've only been in this game. I've only been in the crypto game for, I mean, really 5-6 months. And I think I have the perfect exit strategy. I think my portfolio is set up for success. I talk about it all the time. I talk about my reasons all the time. I came up with this strategy like a couple months in, right? The linchpin is Ethereum. I am extremely bullish Ethereum. I'm also extremely bullish Cardano and Polkadot and Binance Smart Chain, a bit of diversity. But I do not think Ethereum is going to be dethroned by any of them. It's possible. It's just like, is Ethereum going to flip Bitcoin? A little bit of clickbait in the title. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, for Ethereum to flip Bitcoin, we're just talking a modest like 3x right now. Here's the deal though, like if that's the thing about my perfect exit strategy though, right? The market always has a way of humbling you, and we don't know what's going to happen. I think, you know, the patterns there. See, I'm a little upset with myself because George, I don't know if anyone caught George's stream last night. Dude, he's the master. I give it to him. Like, I've been talking about this hidden pattern that he was showing last night on his stream for weeks now. But I wasn't smart enough to make the title, right? I'm learning, right? He's a Jedi. I'm just a learning little, what is it, Padawan or whatever? I don't remember. I'm not that much. I love me some Star Wars, but I'm not that much of a nerd. Anyway, yeah, man, them titles. I got to work on them titles. I wake up. I just don't put the effort in, man. Again, I'm not trying to build a 300K channel. I'm just, you know, I want to make my money in cryptocurrency. I want to come in, I want to hang out, and I want to talk to a few people. Anyway, I got to work on the titles, right? I'm lazy, man. I wake up. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about the night before. I try not to think about it. I try not to get obsessed about it. I just wake up, see what's happening, and then like, okay, let's slap this title together. So let's do it. So what are you thinking about doing, Saint Gang? What kind of moves? You thinking about buying, selling? Don't sell, man. Like if you got good coins, how much do you see me selling? I haven't sold crap. I haven't sold crap in a while. The only coins I've sold this year, and I've gotten close to almost selling a third, and I'll get to that in a second. And I'm going to give some price predictions, so definitely stick around for that. We should go take a look at the stock market because it's been open for a minute. But man, the stock market is, the only thing I've done over there recently is lose money. Before I forget, so the coins I have sold, I've mostly just been buying and holding, buying on the dip. I bought $10,000 in Polkadot in this last dip. I'm extremely bullish Polkadot. I do think Polkadot, I have a short-term price target, a long-term price target. I also have a short and long-term price target for Cardano. I'll give you my short-term price target today, but you're going to have to stick around for another stream for my long-term price target. I gave my price targets on Ethereum. I've drawn these on my TradingView charts. So they're locked in, they're locked and loaded. They're not going to change. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. I'm going to tell you right now, I hope I am wrong. I hope I am dead set wrong and all these other predictions everyone's talking about comes true. So the coins I have bought this year and didn't hold on very long would be Reef. I FOMO'd into Reef because everyone wouldn't shut up about Reef. And it's Polkadot, man. I love me some Polkadot. Now I don't even know what it is. I think it's on Binance Smart Chain or Solana or I don't know, man. It just, sometimes when you see smoke, there's usually fire. And then I just started getting and I'm not saying Reef is. I have no idea. It's just like, is this a legit project? I have no idea. Maybe it is. I also kind of had a cool name. Yeah, man, that name. Anyway, so I bought some Reef and I sold it. I think I sold it for a small profit or flat. And the same thing, Aave, I liked Aave there for a second. And I still don't hate Aave. I still think Aave is a good project. I don't even know what the Aave price is, but I bought it at like 500. I might have sold that for a very small loss. I only had 10, right? Very small purchase. Anything outside of Polkadot, I mean, even Polkadot's a small percentage, right? Really anything outside of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, it really starts going down in portfolio size, right? Those three right there, 33%, 30%, 20%, and then it goes down to Polkadot 7%. That's actually, we'll just go ahead and, what would that be? 1370, we'll just put that in there. So Polkadot's really, that puts me at the $500,000, but we're going to wait. I'm going to take that back out. I don't want to add that back. Weird. I know, I'm weird. So I don't want to have the satisfaction of having that $500,000 number right now. I want that with before my most recent purchase. But Polkadot's really about 10% of my account, and Binance is sitting at 5%. If anything, I made a mistake by not making Binance my third biggest position, because I still think Ethereum, or I wish Binance my second biggest, because Ethereum my biggest. I missed it, man. I missed the boat a bit on Binance. But at the end of the day, I still think Cardano is probably going to be the top performing crypto, I think, even through the rest of the year. Anyway, let's whip that back. So that's where we are in that. What's up with Kusama, your mama, and what's that YouTuber who always? Oh man, that was some guy over in Europe. I don't remember his name. He hasn't shown up on my stream lately. Stock Mo's making it back on my stream quite a bit. Yeah, there's a couple of YouTubers, but there's some guy from Europe. He talks about a lot of small alt caps and stuff that are going to be out on Polkadot. You know me, man. I'm not much of a throw my money at a bunch of small caps. I mean, maybe later. Like, I don't hate the idea of throwing some money at some small, like super ultra small caps. I think Polkadot is probably just as good a place as any if you could pick the right ones. I just don't. I'm just not as risky, man. I'm gonna stick to the. I got a plan. I got a strategy. I got to stick to it, right? You know my strategy. That hidden. Well, it's a different hidden. Maybe I need to work on a title for that. The hidden. Oh, now I need to go. So it was the hidden chart. No, see, like I suck at this, right? Anyway, there's a pattern, and I could just throw the word hidden in there, but there's a hidden pattern when the bull market's over. See, so I got a crowd. We got to work a title for that. But the pattern has been the entire market dumps 40%. 50%, I don't remember the exact, somewhere between 40 and 60%. The entire market relief rallies about 80 to 90% of that back. Bitcoin starts dumping again. Ethereum starts going to the moon. And with that, you're going to see your Cardanos, your Binances, anything in the top 10 to 20 is going to moon with it. That's going to last for about 1 to 2 weeks. You know, that's when we're at DEF CON. If that happens, that's when I'm at DEF CON 1. If the entire market dumps, I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. It's going to suck if it's going to be one of those 40% dippers. I'm not worried about it. It's gonna at minimum dead cat bounce really hard, most likely, right? Most likely. So when the bull runs over, it's going to be when Bitcoin starts dumping again after that huge dead cat bounce, and Ethereum goes to the moon. And it's going to be Cardano, Binance, Uniswap, Chainlink. All those are going to go with it. And then about 7 to 10 to 14 days later, those are going to start falling off a cliff. So that's when you start dollar cost averaging out. I'm not getting completely out. But if I see that pattern happening, I'm probably shooting for taking half of my portfolio off the table. And then as that's happening, you're going to see a bunch of S coins and crap coins and smaller caps start pumping. So maybe you YOLO into a few like smaller caps, like your Decentralands, and even super low, right? Just throw your helium. I love me some helium as of late. I'm still waiting on my Bobcat miner. I have not even gotten confirmation that that's going to be shipped yet. Come on, guys. And I probably won't get it today because I think it's like midnight in China now. So I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I check what the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Polkadot and Cardano are. And then I go check my Gmail and see if that Bobcat miner is being delivered because I'm ready to do some yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Like, I've talked about it quite a bit lately. I've built my plan on that. And another indicator that I'm looking at, I've hitched my wagon to the logarithmic growth curve also. I'll start getting a little bit nervous if Bitcoin reaches this top right here, right? I'm not saying, right, this just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And that's the same thing with the history of my exit strategy. So I think it's highly likely, greater than a 90% chance that will repeat itself. I think there's a really good chance that this logarithmic growth curve history will repeat itself. It gets up to that. And that's, the beginning of the end. Like because it's still very early in the adoption of cryptocurrency. Eventually these patterns are going to change, but I think it's still early enough that some forms of these patterns are going to remain the same. And it's a bit of manifest destiny. It's a bit of like, the big boys know this stuff. They're going to trade off it. Their indicators are going to trade off of it, and it's going to be a much easier money for them. But again, it's a huge, like, I think Bitcoin is undoubtedly going to be the king. Like at the end of the day, the name of the game is going to be how many Satoshis have you stacked, right? But I also think Ethereum is going to be huge, massive. I do think Ethereum has the potential to reach 100,000 plus. Not this year, probably not even in like 2025 after the next halving. But I think Ethereum is going to bring more wealth and possibly even Bitcoin to people. Because it's easier to buy, it's easier to accumulate. It's the network that it has built is amazing. There is so much innovation that's going to come out of blockchain. It's mind-boggling. I mean, I even think about certain things of how like it could take over the internet with, and you already see projects like with domain names and SSL certificates. I'm envisioning, like I'm going to get a little technical here, and I don't even know. And I have no idea if some of this stuff is possible, but what if it replaces so much centered around like even sending secure emails and securing networks and like eliminating firewalls? Maybe firewalls become a device that just basically processes whatever blockchain runs through it to the servers and SSL certificates and all this stuff. Maybe it even eliminates SSL certificates because the whole network is just run over an impenetrable, I can't even say the word, impenetrable blockchain. Now there's pros and cons to everything, right? So if you have all these secure networks that the government can't eavesdrop on, I mean, that really changes the dynamic of politics and all this stuff around the world. I mean, that almost is an argument for a threat to national security. What if we can no longer and it's coming, in my opinion, you can no longer eavesdrop on other countries, right? Maybe the United States needs to wake up. And I've said this a lot of times lately, man, you need to get more hash power in the United States. You need to have like, I would be setting up Bitcoin mining and other blockchain, maybe even creating your own blockchain. I don't know, man, like on military bases, things like that. I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. The Fed needs to buy freaking Bitcoin instead of junk bonds. Seabroth in the house. Yeah, excellent TA. Dude, shut the F up about Pancake Swap. No, I like me some Pancake Swap. Guys and gals, we have a legend in the house. Seabroth. This guy texts me all the time. Good friend of mine locally. If you saw some of the text messages we had between each other, you would be like, what the hell is wrong with it? Why am I listening to this Tom guy? Seabroth is one of these new guys. He's extremely new to the cryptocurrency market. Unfortunately, he got in right as things got really flat, right? So he's frustrated. I'm a little frustrated myself, right? We're going to get to some price prediction. I haven't even looked at the stock market. I don't even know if I want to look at it. So he got in around February, and we all know ain't a damn thing happened since February, but a lot of dips and a lot of back to where we are. He's getting a little frustrated. I keep telling him, man, just keep buying, just keep holding, stop chasing pumps. Stop dumping them when they don't go your way. You just relax, man. Like I had him, he bought Ethereum early on. I'm like, dude, Ethereum's going to the moon. And I stuck to it. I haven't sold a single Ethereum. And in fact, I bought more Ethereum over, like I was still buying Ethereum at $2,000. I'll buy it right now at $2,700. I have no problem buying Ethereum right now because I know for a fact it's going higher. It's going much, much higher over the next year, the next 4 years, the next 10 years. The more you can hold on to what you have, the richer you're going to be. You are going to be extremely rich. The hard part is going to be holding on when it gets ugly, because it may get ugly. You just got to hold on while it gets ugly and continue to buy more. That's why I say all the time, never spend more than you can afford to lose. Because when it gets ugly, you won't panic sell. You'll continue to buy more. But if you have more out there than you can afford to lose, or if you're gambling on short-term returns and it goes against you, and you can't afford to lose that money, you're going to panic sell. You're not going to have the intestinal fortitude to hold through it. Now, I have an amount out there that I can afford to lose. I say this all the time, but I will be devastated. It will be extremely difficult. Even though I'm up, you can see how much I'm up, roughly $250,000. I mean, that's just in the last few months. Dude, that last drop, I lost over $100,000 in a week. I was still up. It made it easy. If I were to lose all this money, I don't think that's going to happen, but it is very, very potentially possible if my exit strategy doesn't work out because the market doesn't do what it does, or I don't stick to my plan. These are all things. You got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan, and you've got to stick to it. So if I stick to my plan, but the market doesn't do what we expect, what I talk about, like the whole market dumps, the whole market relief rallies, Ethereum goes to the moon. Well, my portfolio is positioned to be extremely successful because Ethereum and Cardano and Polkadot and Binance make up what? 33 and 63, 68. I mean, just take Bitcoin off. 80% of my portfolio is not Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the one that's going to dump. I'm not worried about needing to sell Bitcoin. Whatever, dude. I'll hold every last Satoshi I have. If I see an opportunity to sell some Bitcoin, because I think it's going to, the dump's happening, I'm probably going to sell some of my Bitcoin with the intention of buying it back. But if I don't sell any Bitcoin, I don't care. 80% of my portfolio is positioned to a point that I see the top. I know this is the top happening. Start scaling out very aggressively. But I still want to leave probably 50% of it on the table in case it's a fake out and that pattern doesn't happen, or it's some like double top, right, craziness, right? So if I am completely wrong, I still have 50% of my portfolio to go deep into the future to make a ton of money. And I have 50% of my portfolio now in cash at great profits to do things like real estate, plenty of opportunity in real estate, go back to the stock markets, or to sit there and chill waiting for the next big dip, right? So as long as I stick to those plans and I have an amount out there that I can afford to lose, I'm good. Now, don't get me wrong. If some tax regulation comes out, like cryptocurrency is just a hard cap of 80%, I don't think that's going to happen. There are black swan events that could happen, right? Like Cardano. Charles Hoskinson gets hit by a bus. 30% of my portfolio is gone. What else do we got? We got Ethereum. Vitalik Buterin goes on a heroin bender and injects. Where am I getting these ideas? Like he gets addicted to heroin. Guys, this is just, I don't have any inclination that I think this could happen. And then he like sabotages Ethereum, right? 33% of my portfolio gone. And those are going to take, either one of those is going to probably take a massive hit to the markets in general. And speaking of Cardano, man, the news media continues to suppress poor Charles Hoskinson. He's doing amazing things. They had the Africa. You go to, this is crazy, dude. Like 5 million people are going to get on board. All you ever hear about is governments are going to ban Bitcoin, ban cryptocurrency. Charles Hoskinson, Ethiopia government is going to use Cardano. Other governments in Africa are going to use Cardano. Georgia, coming up soon, is going to use Cardano for students, for identification. Man, that is a lot of liquidity coming to Cardano. Cardano, Smart Chain, Alfonso, or whatever the F it's called, is coming, right? Projects are coming very, very soon. Cardano remains the token, the coin that I'm most bullish on. My short-term price target on Cardano is right around the $2 by June 1st. I think it's happening. This long-term trend line has been support. It's recently been resistance. I think we're going to pop above that. Again, Alfonso's coming. There's going to be a supply crunch, supply and demand. When projects come on a blockchain, they have to have Cardano, right? That's going to be a massive, and Cardano's already like 70% staked. When the people buy it, they stake it, and it's like they're the Tesla of stocks. People buy Tesla stock, and you can't pry it from their cold dead hands. And I'm the exact same way. Speaking of Tesla, how are they doing? They look like they're up a bit, which is good. Circle. Bitcoin needs a cootie shot. Yeah, for sure, brother. Not if Biden gets rid of the 10. Yeah, so I don't fully understand what a 1031 is. Is that the thing where you buy a house and then you don't have to pay capital gains after like 2 years? All big boy real estate guys will only buy single family home. Yeah, so Meet Kevin did a really good video. I only watched one. I think he did a couple of them. And I don't fully understand everything that he said in the video. I'm not a real estate guy right now. Like, I know some of the generics. I have my own house. I understand that if I sell it after 2 years, I don't have to pay capital tax gains. I think a lot of that comes more into play after you sell or, you know, make $1 million in profit. I think there's some problems that are going to come there. It's going to change the game, man. Like, what if they do add an unrealized tax? That would be the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. That is going to probably devastate the markets. And that scares the hell out of me. If unrealized gains becomes a tax or starts becoming chatter, it's going to be devastating to probably both cryptocurrency and stocks. It's going to change trading philosophies greatly. Like, I mean, what would you even do as a retail investor? Does it almost make sense to just completely now trade in an IRA and then, like, screw it? Like, why? I'm trying to do the math on it, and I have no idea. I'm not sure. But why wouldn't you just put all your money into an IRA and trade in that, so you don't have to worry about capital tax, and then with the intention of, like, screw it, dude, I'll just take that 10% penalty if I ever want to take the money out, right? I don't know. Like, there's going to be some loopholes that come out. It definitely, so I'm heavily into options, right? And selling options. So that's all short-term capital gains. And you can roughly put 30% of your portfolio at risk and get the same kind of gains. One of the downsides is it's always short-term. One of the upsides is it's greater than 50% chance of success. You can defend against it. A lot of times you're sitting around 80% chance of success. You know, another con is it takes a little bit more skill set to do it. There's it's obviously a lot more complex. So if they were to make an unrealized capital tax, like, why would I buy stock? I'm just going to just sit there and I'm going 100% options. Who wants that risk? Like, that's a tremendous amount of risk. What if there was an unrealized capital tax gain last year? Excuse me. So, for example, I had 250 shares of Tesla, and I made $100,000. And these are, I didn't make that much in Tesla. I made a lot of money in Tesla last year. I'm just throwing out some random numbers. So you make $100,000 in Tesla and you want to hold on to your shares. It's December 30th. You have to pay roughly $50,000 in taxes. I say this stuff. This is not the first time I made this comparison. So you have to sell some Tesla. So that's like a never ending like loop of having to pay. I guess not, because you're just paying taxes on it regardless. So you have to sell some Tesla to pay taxes. That lowers your opportunity to make more gains. Now you leave this Tesla on, and then Tesla takes a 50% haircut because the news media grabs a hold of this. For example, this recent, full self-driving caused 2 people to get killed, right? I'm distorting it a little, and that is not what happened. But it's killed the price of Tesla a bit. What if something really like cuts it down to 50% and you don't make that back? Well, now you've lost a massive amount of money, and you had to pay $50,000 in taxes. And now you say you're down $100,000 in Tesla, you can only write 3,000 of that off. In my opinion, the only way you can pull off, and in my opinion, doesn't mean shit to the United States government. The only way you could have an unrealized tax gain is if you can fully write off your losses too, right? That's the only thing that makes sense to me. And then at the end of the day, what is the zero sum or net gain for the US government when it comes to taxes? I really don't like the idea of an unrealized tax. I mean, I don't know if you have any say to your congressman or whoever, or write letter, if you're one of those people that write letters, tell them I will not vote for you if you allow this to happen. I'm not a huge fan of the new Biden, 43% capital tax gain, or even some of this real estate stuff. Man, it's just squashing the little guy like you and me. How are we supposed to get ahead? It's dividing the rich and the poor even more, which it's already ridiculous. They're making it sound like they're making the richer person pay taxes. Let me explain something to you, dude. Like, someone with $1 million doesn't have a lot of like lawyer power and CPA power and stuff like that. So it's going to be really hard for someone to get, and $1 million isn't what $1 million was like 30 years ago. And I'm pretty sure my portfolio has a really good chance of hitting $1 million this year. Really good chance, if not much, much more. $1 million is not going to be enough for me to just pack up shop and retire, right? I mean, I could probably pull it off solo, but $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to, right? And it keeps losing purchasing power. So it makes it really, really hard for someone to go from like middle class to just like a lot less. And I'm not trying to be ultra wealthy, but how do you even get to that point where you can just really relax, right? Especially when they just keep. So again, like, it's much harder for someone like me with $1 million, because I'm going to get hit with all these hard capital tax gains versus someone with like 10 million, 20 million that has the CPA power, that has the lawyer power to find all the loopholes and set up the S-corps and do this and do that, right? So it's something I'm going to have to figure out probably eventually here pretty soon. It all scares the hell out of me, man. And it really makes me think maybe I should be looking to move to Puerto Rico right now, get it locked in right now. But man, I don't know shit about Puerto Rico. I know a little bit, but am I really ready to move to Puerto Rico? I have crazy dietary constraints. I have health issues. What kind of freaking doctor am I going to have in Puerto Rico? How easy is it for me to be able to get the food I need to have? It all scares the hell out of me. All right, I have not done my price predictions yet. We'll get to that in a second. Let's catch up with the chat real quick. No capital gains if you reinvest everything within 90 to 100 days. I don't follow. So no capital gains if you reinvest everything within 90. No, I don't know. All right, so are you talking about wash sell, or are you talking about something else? So if you sell at a loss and buy back in, how does it work? So a wash sell is, oh, this is amazing content. If you sell at a win, you pay taxes no matter what. If you, okay, so yeah, it's set up against you, right? So say you sell Tesla at a loss on December 30th, but buy back in within 30 days, you can't write it off, right? So wash sales only work, they basically work against you every way there is. So I don't know what you mean by the 90 to 100 days, or if that's just a way to do it. Elizabeth Warren said unrealized tax gains. She was tied with Biden right before she said this, then she tanked. She's stupid. Yep. Well, I don't know that I want to call her useless. I mean, I don't have nothing against Elizabeth Warren. I'm not a subject matter expert on her. I know she's definitely put in her time in the banking industry. All I know is I thought there was no chance in hell that unrealized capital tax gains had any possibility But then I was watching the Nomad Capitalist the other day, and that dude thinks it's going to happen, and I respect that dude, so that scares the hell out of me. I have no idea if it's going to happen. I think it would be devastating if it did. They can't do unrealized gains. Yeah, I agree. It is the dumbest thing ever. I think it would completely ruin. They would have to completely change a lot of the laws around it. Like, there may be a way to pull it off, but in my opinion, it would have to involve, because if you could have $100,000 in losses. You could have a horrible year and have $100,000 losses in taxes. You can only write $3,000 of that off. How effed up is that? You can carry that forward. I don't know how far you can carry it forward. I don't know if I think it's only like 5 years, or I don't know if it's until you get it all back. But dude, like, I mean, come on. 3,000, if you make $1 million 1 year, you have to pay $500,000 in taxes. $500,000 to $550,000 in taxes if you live in the great state of California like I do. And then the next year you lose $500,000, you can write $3,000 of it off. Right? And so again, the unrealized. What if you have an amazing year? You make $1 million, you have to pay $550,000 roughly dollars in the great state of California. And you gotta liquidate a lot of your shit just to even do that. And then you get your ass handed to you the next year. I mean, dude, like, you just worked your ass off building a decent portfolio, and you would have been much better off. I don't know. It drives me insane. Check out this. Oh, definitely. She is big into crypto, BlockFi, Nexo, and she is in Puerto. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm definitely going to check her out. That was, real estate thing. No tax roll if you and yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to probably, I don't know, man, like, I keep considering doing more when it comes to real estate. Again, I'm going to most likely buy a new house in the next year, especially like if my portfolio doubles, it's game on. I'm getting a really nice house. I don't have any real problem with my current house. There's a little bit of fixing up. And it's small. It's only like 1,200 square feet. It's enough for me. I wouldn't hate it here, except I live near a train track and a bunch of noisy neighbors. So I'm ready to get the F out, man. Other than that, I'm okay with it. If I get the F out, I would love to get a little bit bigger size house. You know, this is roughly a $250,000 house. I wouldn't mind upscaling to like a $500,000, maybe even get crazy like a $700,000 house. We'll have to see how the portfolio does. Or maybe my plan, boys and girls, I can afford to lose it. I don't want to lose it. It's going to suck like a mofo. It might be a 4 or 5 year plan. This portfolio, I might wake up tomorrow. Shit might hit the fan. This thing's down to $100,000. I continue to grind it out for 4 years. I continue to start. If this portfolio were to tank, the only thing I'm doing is I'm going to continue to grind. I'm going to continue to watch expenses. I'm going to continue to get every little spare cent I can and buy as much as possible until the next bull run, right? And at the end of the day, in 4 or 5 years, I'm going to be rich AF. I already know this, right? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's my plan. Hopefully a lot of you have the same plan. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not telling you to do this. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And I've never been more sure of anything in my life that I say there's a 90% chance that if I stick to that plan, I'm going to be just fine. Anyway, let's get to the price predictions. I don't even remember. Oh, Ethereum to flip Bitcoin. That's a lot of the chatter. The news articles are coming back to it. Can Ethereum flip Bitcoin? Well, if Ethereum goes on a crazy run, the only thing that would make sense to me is if Ethereum goes on a 3x run. Because what is the market cap right now? The market cap of Bitcoin is 1 trillion. The market cap of Ethereum is 300,000. If Bitcoin stays flat and Ethereum 3x's, like say Ethereum just hovers around 55,000 to 65,000 and Ethereum just starts going to $10,000, Ethereum could flip Bitcoin. It's a possibility. I really don't think it's going to happen. I'm okay with being wrong. I am very well okay with being wrong. I own 1.73 Bitcoins and 60 Ethereum. You think I'm going to have a problem with Ethereum flipping Bitcoin? F no, dude. F freaking no. Let's go. I hope Ethereum flips Bitcoin, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure. So I got my circles on the charts. I gave a prediction in Ethereum yesterday. I think it was like, I don't even remember, but I'm putting it on the chart. Oh, I didn't. Oh, there we go. There's the circle. There's my circle. It's been in this channel for a long time. I think it's going to spike. It's going to do that. If it does that parabolic move, my exit strategy that we talked about, we're looking at between 8,000 and 10,000 at the high. I could be wrong. It might only be down in the, it might stay in the channel and it might only be in the 6,000. But I do think we could see a spike up to 8 to 10,000. That's where I'm putting my most bullish. I should make a green circle and a red circle. Maybe we'll modify those going forward. So yeah, we'll kind of do that now. We'll make this my most bullish and then we'll make him more bearish. Kind of in this range. And that's still pretty bullish, right? So we can make that one red. And then obviously, but I think it's going to be somewhere in this area. Most bullish, most bearish is still 6 to 7,000. Ian Tubby in the house, only up to 500K. Yeah, so the 1031 is the thing where you can sell your house and not pay capital tax. So it's 500 if you're married, 250 if you're single, which is a huge restriction. It would mean real estate investors will stop investing. Yeah, it would change real estate investors a lot. That doesn't necessarily hurt someone like me though, right? Because I'm capped at 250,000 if I sell this house, and I'm not. It's the only house I have right now. So the gist I got from when Meet Kevin was talking, it hurts. His theory was it hurts bigger real estate investors a lot. It hurts people that held on to homes for a really long time and they are making millions of dollars in profit. But the gist I mostly got is it hurts big time real estate investors, and that would hurt the inventory and the amount they would want to sell. I don't know how much that would change the game. It would definitely change things up. I don't know if it's any of this stuff's going to go through. You know, we got an all Democratic Congress now and all three branches or what have you. So there's going to be some changes, right? Hopefully they don't get too crazy. Hopefully Biden's just doing a lot of let's shoot high and then we'll negotiate low. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen to real estate. But we also don't know what's going to happen with taxes. So it's so dumb because it only saved something like $43 billion last year. So all these trillions going everywhere, just leave it. They want to. So what they want to do, a lot of these taxes want to go to what? They want to go to teachers. They want to go to a lot of things that I'm fully behind, right? I think more money should go into education. But I want that money to be spent right. I don't have any faith that the government can do it, right? I don't know if anyone's seen our education system, but it's pretty bad. I was a substitute teacher for a bit in my area. And so I grew up in a small town in Kansas and they have a great education system. There's actually a school district next to me, an excellent, one of the top in the country, right? People move to this city specifically because of the education system. The city next to it, 500,000, education system, some of the worst I've ever seen in my life, right? So I would definitely love to see a real initiative to make our education system good. There's just too many people, too much red tape, too much BS to make it happen. I think it's so screwed. I don't know that they can fix it. I would love to see them fix it. education, the countries that focus hard on education, right? There's like the whole, what was it? Not letting in foreign, the visa restrictions and stuff we did. I mean, that was a huge drain on the brain dump in the United States, and we may see repercussions from that for a long time to come. Everyone around the world want to come to the United States, get educated, and a large majority of these smart people help innovate United States companies. Once that got restricted, who knows, man? Some like Silicon Valleys are now popping up in other countries. Who knows what's going to happen? All education money gets missed. It is, dude, it is so sad. So sad. Now, I won't say all, but I would say a vast majority. Our biggest focus, I work for an MSP, managed service provider. I'm an engineer, and all I do is a bunch of project design work. I design networks, put them in to schools, put them into like big businesses, but education is one of our heaviest focuses. We have a ton of schools. I work on schools all the time. And so I see top to bottom a lot of problems in education, especially from the IT standpoint now. In my past lifetime as a substitute teacher for a while, I saw it in teaching. And obviously, I saw it growing up as a kid and being educated. Luckily, my school system had a really good education system. And really good. But, dude, some of the stuff I saw as a substitute teacher, dude, I walked in as a substitute math teacher, and the students are like, how do we do this, Mr. Whatever? So I show them this algebra formula, and they're like, dude, you're better than our regular teacher. And I'm just a freaking substitute teacher, right? So, I don't know. It's sad. You know who is investing a lot in money in U.S. Chinese government? So you know who is investing a lot? Why would the Chinese government be investing a lot in U.S. education? What would you do to keep the real estate prices going up? I don't want the real estate prices to keep going up right now. It's already out of control. It needs to stabilize. I mean, as a homeowner, yeah, my house is going up in value, but I'm pricing like, I don't even know what to do right now. Like, I'm seriously, what do I do, boys and girls? What do I do? Do I go buy a new house and keep this house too? Like, that seems like the smart play. But what if I buy a new house, I keep this house, and the market crashes? I don't think the market's going to crash. I really don't. I think there might be a dip. If interest rates grow up. If interest rates go up, the housing market's going to come down a bit. I think. I don't know, man. But I don't think there's going to be some massive inventory dump. Even if, like, they start foreclosing on people, there's going to be relief programs. There's going to be the government is going to work on a lot of programs. The 40-year lease, we're hearing that come out potentially. They're going to tell banks, just reset all these people in foreclosures, a certain percentage, what have you, relief programs, give the banks money. Oh my God, please take my tax dollars and give the banks more money. Please. I can't wait for that day to happen because it's coming. So give the banks more money, let the people reset their loans, give them a 40-year loan, give them this. So if they do a 40-year lease, and a lot of people can redo it and kind of get a little bit of, they show they have their back, they're having a job, reset them, reset the loans and all this stuff. These are all potentials, right? 40-year leases, that's going to make the housing go up. And a lot of houses that they think are going to come on the market aren't going to come on the market. They keep interest rates down a bit. There continues to be a crunch on like lumber and all this stuff, the lumber shortage and all that. It's going to be a while. It's going to be at least 1 or 2 years. So I don't think the housing market's going to crash at all. But I'm not, I've already told you I'm not an expert in real estate. These are just some of the signals I see. And the government's gotten very, very efficient with all these recent crises, with the 2008 crash. And with this new COVID thing, they've gotten really, really efficient on how to keep markets propped up. So they have the philosophy. There's probably more stimulus coming. Just keep that money printer pumping, right? Smart people like us keep throwing our money at crypto, things like Bitcoin that's deflationary, Ethereum, my favorite, one of my favorites. Cardano's my favorite. It's somewhat going to be deflationary soon. That's a big reason why I think Ethereum run hasn't even started yet. I think it has a really good chance of blowing past this top line and even moving into a higher area. That is in the cards for me. I don't think Ethereum's going to flip Bitcoin, but I think it could catch up in dominance, to be honest. I still want to know why the Chinese government is investing a lot in U.S. education. Doesn't make any sense to me. What am I missing on that one? I do know the Chinese government is investing a lot in stealing all our technology via exchange exploits and whatever means they can get. They are doing a mass dump of all our technology and sifting through it later. Dude, sound like a tinfoil hat guy. I sound like a tinfoil hat guy half the time. Like, I'm convinced, I'm 100% sure that Russia and China are sabotaging us with things like Russia for sure. Trump's not our president, and MAGA, right? Russian operatives on both sides leading the charge. They're tearing this country apart. They're dividing a wedge with bipartisan politics. It's an easy thing for them to do. I don't even blame them. It's so easy. All right, here we go. So check out Joe Rogan with Josh. He's a journalist who wrote a book. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I saw really good Joe Rogan recently with an ex-CIA guy talking about what China's doing to hack, you know, and the exchange hack and all this stuff. I had to deal with that exchange hack. Spent 2 days going around patching all our clients' exchange systems, and a couple of them got compromised. China's playing the long game, and that's what they're doing with all the data that they're stealing, right? Neo and what's the other one? Neo and Xpeng. Do you think that's definitely data stealing? I mean, Xpeng especially, it's practically a Tesla at this point. And there's plenty, Alibaba, right? All this stuff. And that's just the obvious stuff you see in your face. They're stealing as much as they can. They're sifting through it. And if it takes 30, 40, 50 years, smart dudes over there, man. Yeah, exactly. The 2042 or the 40 or 50 year plan or whatever. Yeah, no, and that's a CIA guy. And let me tell you something, boys and girls. That CIA guy knew his shit. Because I know my shit when it comes to that industry. Like, I don't want to brag, but I know that stuff, man. Trust me, and that guy, and I was impressed. I'm like, what? I see all these, like, what's that show on Showtime? Homeland? I didn't even watch the final season. I used to really like, speaking of shows. So I really like Homeland, but but that's what I see. I just see CIA people going around and shooting people, right? And being stealthy and crap like that, and dirty bombs and all this stuff. But this dude, like, he knew his stuff, man. I'm like, that guy would have impressed me as just a fellow engineer, and that doesn't happen very often. Yeah, so it's easy to denounce a lot of things as conspiracies when there's a lot of BS. Yeah, man, that's the problem with the media for one. But don't sleep. China moving into everywhere. Yeah, man, of course they are. They're being smart over there. I mean, the United States is too. We're doing it too. I guarantee you, we're doing all that stuff. But the media is not going to talk about that. So we're not behind. But I tell you what, I think China and Russia are winning the internet espionage game and all that stuff. So anyway, I don't know. So that's my price prediction on Ethereum. We got the targets locked in. Again, I added $1 to Big Boy's price prediction because I'm pretty sure he did a video a few months ago that Polkadot's going to go to 325. I have Polkadot going to the $56 to $60 range by June 1st. We go out, and I actually think they have a really good shot of getting around, we'll say, this is kind of my bearish scenario, to be honest. I think a 10x from like the recent, like they were at $16 for a while before they started the move. They could get 10x for them. It's locked on the board. That's where we are on that. I think Cardano or Polkadot is getting ready to go on a run. It was following this trend line for a bit, and then it had, I really don't know why it had, well, the market had a dump, right? The entire market had this dump, but Polkadot in general, just like it really got hammered. It also really went on a decent run to like some of its all-time highs, but it had a 44% dip. And I bought that dip. That's the coin I invested in. It's starting to make its move back. I think we'll get it back above this trend line. And I think Polkadot could see $60 by June 1st. If not more, we got the Kusama parachain auctions coming up. Just like when everyone was shitting on Ethereum, saying to sell your Ethereum, Ethereum's dead, Binance Smart Chain, Cardano, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't really pounding the table, but I was, you know, I was clearly saying I'm not selling my Ethereum. I was clearly still buying some. And it clearly, you know, I show my portfolio all the time. And for a while, it was in the number 2 position because Cardano was doing so well. And those two will probably continue to fight each other. But I'm not selling Cardano. I'm not selling Ethereum. And I continue to buy both. And I'm extremely comfortable buying both right now. That being said, buying Ethereum right now is a little bit scary because it's at all-time highs and it's had a good pump. So I generally don't recommend buying something into the pump. But I think Ethereum has a real, so a lot of people are saying once it passed 3,000, it's off to the races. Well, I don't know, man. I could just just as easily see it hit 3,000 and then dip back down to 2,400, right? So, but long term, this bitch is going to 10,000 plus, no doubt in my mind. 10,000 is a possibility this year. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a possibility. I'd say there's at least a 10 to 15% chance this can hit a 10,000 plus. And the bull market, super cycle, whatever, will continue past what it's done in the past. The adoption rate is going to continue to ramp up. Retail and institutional investors are going to continue to ramp up. The liquidity is, the more the liquidity comes in, the less like, you know, the less, the easier those dumps are going to become. And eventually that cycle is going to break. There's no way that cycle is going to remain the same for the next 100 years, right? Eventually it's going to break. It's just a matter of adoption, liquidity, those two right there, adoption and liquidity, right? And we've seen a lot, 3x of liquidity. We've gone from a $600 billion market cap to over 2 trillion. And if a lot of these price predictions come true, which I don't think they are, $500,000 Bitcoin, $27,000 Ethereum, that's just freaking insane. Let's say $10,000 Ethereum. We're talking about, even a $10,000 Ethereum, we're talking about $1 trillion Ethereum. So I think $1 trillion Ethereum is not out of the realm of question. $300,000 Bitcoin, you're talking about so you're talking about 4 to 6 to 10 trillion potentially in this market, in this bull run. That is a lot of liquidity. So I just don't know that we're going to see that massive dump. I don't know if that's enough to break the cycle, but this cycle has the potential, right? And everyone says, oh, you know, they say this every bull run and it never happens. Well, eventually one of the bull runs, it's going to happen. And a lot of that's going to hinge around adoption and liquidity. So is this cycle different? Maybe. Right? Maybe. You got to be ready for all scenarios. And my plan, we know my plan, right? If we see that playing out, I'm dumping. I'm selling it. Not all of it. But I'm ready. I'm ready for a double top, a fake out. It continues to go up. I still have half my crypto roughly on the board and we continue to make a shitload of money. Or it all dumps. I have half my money off the board to buy more during the dump, right? How can that lose if you stick to that plan? The only way that can lose if there's some massive black swan event that just completely destroys crypto. And I don't see that happening. It's just like crypto screams this is the future of humanity, period, right? I'm not saying it eliminates banking. I think there's going to be a coexistence. Everyone talks about the extreme on one side or the other. Oh, cryptocurrency, F banks, F centralization, right? Dude, there's pros and cons to both, and they're gonna, you know, and we're gonna try and find a balance there. There's gonna be a reason to have both. For example, dude, it's a pain in the ass to custody your own crypto. It's scary as shit, man. I think about that, like Tom, like, see, right now I got a lot of my crypto making interest, right? I'm like, Tom, dude, you gotta go buy a ledger. What is it? I want the other one, the Trezor or whatever, and put your money on there. But then, dude, that's scary as shit, right? There's I actually hope for regulation that says, okay, we're gonna insure your crypto. I want that comfort, right? I would be fully, I want the comfort of having my crypto in a bank and knowing it's safe. I want that centralization. I'm not a decentralization maximalist here. I don't want the headache of, hey man, where's my ledger, right? What if the house burns down and I got to have my private keys in a bank? What if some, you know, like someone comes to my house with the $5 wrench attack and says, transfer your crypto now, right? There's a lot of pros and cons to both sides. Maybe I just want some of my crypto. I'm not trying to evade taxes, though. Before my boy Saint Gang, where was that? Maria Monetize. Great freaking name. All right, I'm definitely gonna check her out. So anyway, I started a rant. I'm not gonna continue the rant. I think there's gonna be a symbiosis or what have you there. Let's see if I'm a Trevor in the house. I can never Menezes. I'm sorry, brother. China movie. We're definitely not. If you study history, you don't want to. Nah, man. Dude, I know they're corrupt mofos. They're corrupt. What do you want from me? But I also like, it's scary, man. Like, again, there's no solutions. There's only trade-offs. I don't forget who says that, but I love that. There are no solutions. There's only trade-offs, and you got to choose what trade-off makes the most sense for you. It's like burying just go get a bunch of cash, bury it in the backyard. I've considered things like that in the past, right? But you know, like, I'm going to spend the rest of my life checking the backyard. Is there, you know, is it still there? Digging it up, and is some neighbor going to see me doing it? And the next time I go check, it's not there, right? What if my house burns down and then I lose my keys, right? How do I secure my keys? Do I put half in one security deposit box, half in the other? What if like my house burns down and a bank burns down, or like I have such an elaborate scheme of how I distribute my keys. I lose my ledger, and then I can't figure out my elaborate scheme to put my keys back together, and I lose millions of Bitcoin. I don't know, man. The guy's got me going. Yeah, bro, I thought about that too. I don't exactly know. Like, I thought of some really cool shit. Like, I don't know. Do you choose the keys on like a ledger? Like, do I make it? Do I plaster? Now this is really cool. This is how I would probably do it. I would take something like the Declaration of, or the Gettysburg Address, 407. Like, I don't remember the whole freaking thing. Something I memorized in middle school. I plaster that bitch up on my wall, and my secret key is every fifth word in the Gettysburg Address or something like that, right? Right there, right in plain sight. No one knows. No one knows but me what word in that. So remember, 12, is it words they give you, though? Like a lot of these wallets, all these software wallets, it's words they give you. Can you choose the words? That's where it's at. There's also some evidence of how insecure that might be, right? So I don't know how easy or what kind of lockouts there are from computers just sitting there throwing dictionary attacks at this stuff, or how to get at it. So there's a lot of concerns for that stuff too, right? Who knows, man? There is evidence though that stuff is not as secure as everyone makes it out to be. So anyway. Oh, I pronounced it right. Which one? Menezes? Is that right? That's good to know. I'll try and remember that. All right, the portfolio's 491,000. Yeah, all right. Here's my Daedalus wallet. I'm typing out my Daedalus keywords right there. There it is. Try that one for my. I got 110,000 ADA. I think the epochs today. We're gonna get some rewards today, baby. I need to set up a Cardano. I kind of want to do that just for fun. Set up a Cardano, whatchamacallit, a node. I don't want to sit there and constantly advertise it, right? And you got to put in the work. You got to grind. I'm kidding. I love you, Ian. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. We didn't even look at the stock market. The portfolio's at 491,000. I gave a Polkadot prediction. I gave Ethereum. Oh, did I give my Cardano? So I gave a Cardano short-term prediction. I think it's coming, man. We got the, I think $2 is coming by June 1st. We got the Alfonso. I think some of this African news is just kind of lag and catch up. I think there's going to be a, oh, that reminds me. So $3.5 or $4 billion roughly in options is expiring today in Bitcoin. I think there's a pretty good chance the market will start seeing an up move this week. George was talking about this a lot lately and how the max gains at 54,000 and that, oh, Bitcoin's at 56,000 and moving. Let's hashtag LFG. LFG, let's freaking go. Ethereum's moving. It's pushing to 2760. Dude, maybe I can't even freaking no pass. Thumb me down, Saint Gang. I don't care. Thumbs down. Help the channel too. Dude, we're pushing. I might not even be able to stop the stream. Where is this coming from? So options are expiring today. We're starting to see the move early. I got a tab. Let me see if I can find it. Because I opened an account at LedgerX. I was checking out the options. Let's see where we got. I don't know if I have it open. I did. Oh, here we go. A verification. Oh my goodness. Let me try signing in. Because I was seriously considered trading options. All right, let me pull this over. So I was looking at it. This is really, really interesting. And I do think this is a really, really cool, good way to invest in cryptocurrency. They only have Bitcoin, and these are the options. So I don't know. It actually kind of surprises me that there's a regulated exchange in the United States that lets you trade options. So I don't know enough about this LedgerX. I don't know how liquid they are. I don't know how safe it is to have money over there. But you can trade with as little as like 0.01 Bitcoin or something like that. So I'm seriously considering moving just a small amount over there and playing with it, because you can do options over here. And just like options in stock, it's 100 equals 1 Bitcoin, but you can trade as little as just 1, right? I just don't know that the IV rank and the premium make a lot of sense. So for example, this is April 30th, May. We can go out to, oh, they have weeklies too. So we can go out to June. And let's say I want to sell, so this price right there, $252. That's for a full Bitcoin. So I could sell 100 of these and receive $252 in premium. To me, I don't know that that's enough premium to make this worth the trade. It's pretty safe. Actually, we can go to say like even 40,000, same thing. So what this says is I could sell 100 of these, receive $1,000 credit. I would like to see this platform get more mature with a % chance of being in the money. Again, I don't know how liquid they are, if they're at risk of going under, how well they count. And the thing that scares me the most about this, and the only thing that it does give an IV, which is pretty cool. The only thing that scares me the most about doing this is I just don't want the tax headache for this small amount of money. This gives you a greater than 50% chance of being successful. But trading options, you're dealing with a lot of contracts, and there's a lot of crap going into your tax form, right? Well, with like Tastyworks and great platforms, it doesn't matter. It goes out there, it grabs it all, puts it in for you. You might have to fix a couple of them. You're done in a couple minutes. I don't know how well this integrates with any of the current tax forms. So next year, let's say I just make a few $1,000s off this. I don't want to spend 2 weeks doing freaking taxes because I have thousands of transactions over here. So I need to do a little bit of research on that. Their fees aren't too terribly bad. They're not too terribly great either. It's basically 15 cents a contract. So if I sold 100 of these, I would get $1,000 in credit at $40,000. What that means is, as long as Bitcoin's above $40,000, I keep the $1,000. It's the same freaking stuff. So I'm going to look into it. I might start trading this. This might be a part of the channel going forward. Post in the comments down below if this is something you would like to see. But again, I just got to make sure it's not going to be a huge tax headache. I mean, you can really do some cool shit over here too, like do strangles, right? Say you have a full Bitcoin, you could do a strangle around it. You could sell, you could get $1,000 for selling a 40,000 put. And if you have the capital to say, yeah, man, I'd love to buy a full Bitcoin at 39,000. Who the hell wouldn't, how many of you out there, raise your hand if you would, right? Like, I don't even know how to phrase that question. Would you not buy one full Bitcoin at $39,000 right now? Of course you would. This gives you that chance. Now, don't get me wrong. Come June, if Bitcoin's 39,000, are you going to be saying the same thing? I don't know what the % chance of Bitcoin being at 39,000 by June 25th, but it's got to be pretty freaking low, right? So you could do some really cool stuff. Say you have one full Bitcoin and enough money to buy another Bitcoin at 39,000. Yeah, sure, you're all in. You could sell a strangle, right? You could sell a 75,000 strangle. So you could get roughly $2,000 for selling the call and $1,000 for selling the put. You could get $3,000 in premium. And as long as Bitcoin stays between 75,000 and 40,000, there's got to be around at like a 67% chance that happens. Worst case, Bitcoin goes above 75,000. You keep the credit, you take all that profit, $20,000 in profit of your Bitcoin being 55,000 to 75,000. So you've just made $21,000 in profit and the Bitcoin gets called away from you, right? Then you go out and sell a very aggressive put, right? There's so much opportunity here, and I'm looking at it, man, and it's looking pretty juicy to me. So it's something we might add. Thumbs down, thumbs them down. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. I've done way more than I expected to do today. Ethereum's pushing 2761. I would love to see 3K this weekend. Cardano's making some moves. Right now, that resistance line that it keeps butting up against is at $1.42. We need to see probably above like $1.45 this weekend, and we can start moving to my June 1st price target. Polkadot's got some room to go to get past what I think its resistance is, and I think we could see a pretty good chance of we pushing up against this and blasting through it by June 1st, seeing a 60-ish dollar price target. Currently, that resistance is only at $41, and we've already seen a pretty good move. A lot of this is on, and Seabroff, I know you probably not saw it there. He brought me the news, man. Osprey or something, they got some new fund. And I think that's a big reason why DOT's moving. Again, we got the Kusama parachain auctions coming up soon. That's going to be pretty good. Man, we are an hour, a little over an hour and 10 minutes in. We haven't even looked at the stock market. It's not too bad. I'm flat. I thought it was going to be down a lot of money. Ooh, Tesla. My Essa, man. They were down. They were down to like 660. Anyone buy that dip? You know me. I'm long-term Tesla. I've seriously considered. So a few interesting things are happening this weekend. It's looking like the coins on Tastyworks are going to come Sunday night or Monday morning. We're talking Polkadot, we're talking Engine, we're talking 0x. I think Chainlink, I think PaxG, and a few more. So that's going to be really cool. Kind of bumming me out because I was ready to buy some Polkadot, but by come Sunday, Monday, I'm not so sure I'm going to be ready to buy Polkadot. The new Bitcoin future, the micro future, is coming Sunday, I believe. I'm very interested in that. I don't have any, right now, I don't have any buying power to play it, but I'm very interested in that. I might move some money around, or I might sell my Coinbase at a loss. I don't know, just to have money to play that. it's going to be 1/10 the size. So I don't know what that means. Is that it's likely, my best guess, is it's not 1/10 the size of Bitcoin. It's 1/10 the size of the Bitcoin future. The Bitcoin future is 5x leverage. So one Bitcoin future equals 5 Bitcoins, or a notional value of $290,000+. And the buying power for that's around $42,000. So to go long or short one Bitcoin future, you need $42,000 to control almost $300,000 in Bitcoin. My guess is the micro future will be 1/10 the size of the Bitcoin future, or roughly half of Bitcoin, right? So you're looking at probably $3,000 to $4,000 in buying power. And this is actually a pretty amazing utility hedge too. So I might have to seriously consider, like I almost wish I can move. So that's one of the problems with Tastyworks. You can't move or take custody. So if I can move a bunch of Bitcoin into Tastyworks and hedge with that micro future, dude, you're setting up some very professional, excellent stuff. So I may have to consider just knowing that I have Bitcoin over here and my capital over here hedging. It's kind of a weird dynamic. You check Bitcoin options. OI, what is that, bro? I don't know. Can you no, see, yeah, I think I just answered that for you. You can't take custody. You can't transfer it out now. The CEO said that is something that they will have in the future. Hey, you're welcome, Ian. Have a good one. Peace. Have a great weekend, Ian. Great. No, right, Friday, boys and girls. Don't make any changes. Don't ruin your weekend. Yeah, you can't transfer it out, but I think that's coming. And I could see Tastyworks potentially being my preferred broker for crypto in the future. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. I don't know if they're going to offer any staking. Open. Oh, yeah. No, I don't know if they have that on here. Let me take a look. So a couple things I wanted to mention really quick before I forget. Kraken, and I'm really pleased with this. Kraken announced that you can now do ACH transfers. That's one of the things I didn't like about Kraken. Kraken is an excellent platform. They offer great staking rewards. You know, Binance is another one. One of the problems with both of those is they're a little bit more complicated than, say, your Gemini and Coinbase or Voyager. But Kraken now has ACH transfers. Kraken's the best place, in my opinion, to get your Polkadot in the United States. And Kusama, if you like Kusama, you can get 12% over there. You can also get Flow at Kraken. Flow is really hard to get. I've been pretty bullish Flow in the past. I'm kind of, the whole NFT thing though, I'm kind of, it's kind of cooling off. And I still love me some Decentraland. Yeah, Kraken, 12%. And they're doing ACH. It's an amazing, it's a little bit complicated. It's an amazing platform. They have some of the best security. They have master passwords. They take UB keys and you can lock it. They do some really cool stuff. Some of the stuff Binance does for security is pretty cool too. It's almost a pain in the butt, but like Binance, you set up whitelist, they email you the whitelist, and they even have a little code, a 12-digit code that you designate so that you know it's coming from you and not from a hacker and all this stuff. So they both have really good security. And I use them both, right? I use Kraken mostly to stake my Polkadot. And then I use Binance, obviously, to buy, quite often to buy my Cardano and Binance Smart Chain. And that whole, the Binance Smart Chain, there's a reason to be in that. So open interest. Yeah, this has open interest on it. George was talking about, I don't, like, to be fair to George, he'd probably agree. He's probably not an options expert. He's talking about max pain around the 54,000 and how, you know, Bitcoin magically hovering around 50. Dude, it doesn't work like that, man. And all the open interest was at 80,000. So I'm not showing that on this exchange. The exchange he was looking at, there was heavy open interest at 80,000. This exchange is probably not as liquid, but all the open interest is at 60,000. And a lot of times you'll see this, and that'll just kind of indicate, people say that indicates that, you know, 60,000 is a bullish figure. Nah, man, like, again, there's a buyer and seller for everyone. It just means 60,000 on this exchange has a lot of open interest. half the people think it's not going to go over 60,000 and half the people think it are, right? For the most part. And again, to do this wisely, you would be selling $60,000 calls as a hedge or what have you. Like, so 60,000, there's no even bid ask today because it expires today, but you could go a month out and sell a 60,000 and get $2,400 credit. So if you think Bitcoin is not going to go over 60,000 by May 28th and you have one full Bitcoin, you could, I mean, I wouldn't do that. I would probably look, and you see, that's the thing, you can't get a lot of money as you go further out. So I don't know. I'm going to start looking at this and following this, and we'll talk about it. I might start playing around with the sum, just small amounts, right? Just small amounts. All right. Famous last words. Let's wrap this up. The NASDAQ. Oh, we're back down to negative, man. This shit's all over the place. Gold hovering around that 1770 level. It's basically flat, up $2. The E-mini S&P is around $23. My thoughts on the stock market today, it's going to be a pretty boring day. I don't think there's going to be any massive flush. I don't think there's going to be any massive boom to the upside. Probably going to hover around neg 20, NASDAQ neg 20 to pos 20, and maybe even go flat today. There's no monthly options or futures expirations or anything going on in the stock market. Tesla's looking pretty good. I don't know why it's up $21 today. They're talking about the full self-driving a bit. I think the full self-driving beta is now, like, you know, Elon's saying, a couple weeks away. He did talk about Dojo, been on the earnings call. I haven't dug into the numbers a lot again. I don't know how much Bitcoin added to their earnings or if they needed that to help them out with earnings, but there's a lot of, so that right now Tesla's being hit by some car changes, not selling the Model S. So they did kind of have to finesse the numbers a bit just to, because people are stupid mostly. But they could very easily hit 1 million cars this year. The full self-driving could start getting a lot of steam. The solar could start getting a lot of steam. This is easily, in my opinion, still hands down, bar none, the best investment in the stock market. This will continue. It's not going to be the best performing stock over the next 10 years, right? Because it's already the 5th or 6th biggest company in the world, $600 billion, but it's the safest, biggest return on your investment over the next 5 to 10 years. There's going to be some companies out there, small caps, very small caps, they're going to 1000x. Tesla's not going to 1000x, but those are, you're just throwing darts at huge risks, right? Tattooed Chef is one of those that I think can do very well in the future, but it's a much riskier stock. I don't know. I can say with like 90% guarantee Tesla is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar company. It's going to be an amazing company. Our Lord and Savior Elon Musk, he is my Lord and Savior. All right, Coinbase hovering around flat. Man, I'm very tempted to sell my Coinbase just to have some money for those futures, but I am convinced Coinbase is going to see $500 to $750 this year. We just got to play that patient waiting game. They are going to have massive earnings going forward. I think they're going to blow an analyst out of the water. So we'll have to see. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. You guys have a great weekend. I will be back Sunday, 2:55 PST. Be there, be square. Who knows? I may also do a pop-up stream. So be sure to hit those like buttons. Be sure to hit those subscribe buttons. Post down in the comment section below anything you want. What you think about the cryptocurrency market. What do you think about Tesla? What do you think about your lawnmower? What do you think? Do you have enough shade in your backyard? Anything you want to hit me up with? I love you guys and gals. Peace.